Sharma, who graduated from IICD in art material design in the year 2013. We are gathered here today to reflect upon the role of designers in the craft sector of India. And I extend a very, very warm welcome to both our alumni, Manya and Shiv.
Thank you so much,
Welcome.
Nivedita.
Yes, yes, you're most welcome. I would like to tell everyone something about Manya and Shiv. Manya and Shiv are founders of a studio Tratak, which provides a unique blend of traditional and contemporary India in its products. Tataka basically umbrellas a mix of a variety of products, a whole range of products, from the sectors of interiors, spaces, lifestyle accessories, lighting, installations, photography, cinematography, and many more. So we are very, very glad that we have them with us today, and and we would like to commence with the discussion on the topic of the role of designers in the craft sector of India. So, Shiv, I would like to, start with you. Would you want to tell us something about your journey from being a student here at IICD to becoming an entrepreneur? Hello?
Am I audible now?
Yes, 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 Shiv, you're
Yeah.
audible.
So my journey was very good. I feel lucky to be, studied at IICD and actually see the craft sector in hand and the from the hands. I had hands-on experience of all the craft. Maybe I can simply, sum this up like that. All the courses we had in IICD, all the courses were practical courses. It's not a theory only. For say, if someone is teaching us about wood, so they are not just telling us the property of the wood, they are taking us to the workshop and making us work on the wood, from filing, from chiseling, from carving to making joineries. So had hands-on experience with each material, each craft. We understood the importance, the significance, and the details of each and every property of the materials, the crafts, obviously, and how craftsmen are working. Because it is easy to say कि ये काम बहुत आसान है, but when you do it with your own hands, you understand how difficult it is and how difficult it is to master that particular skill. So I feel privileged to have studied in IICD and to understand and learn these skills. After IICD, my main focus was to learn more, as much as I can, master more skills, learn more. आईआईसीडी के अंदर हमने मटेरियल्स के बारे में सीखा, डिज़ाइन के बारे में सीखा. आफ्टर आईआईसीडी आई स्टार्टेड लर्निंग अबाउट द मार्केटिंग, हाउ people are marketing their brands. By working with some of the great designers in this country, I understood how they are getting projects, how the work is actually getting done. With that all knowledge, me and Manya, we decided that it's actually now the time that we start doing some work of our own. And with that in mind, we started designing our own projects. We did our first exhibition. When our first product was sold, we were very much motivated that we are in the right direction. And this is still, we are taking this forward one step at a time.
That's how it goes. That is how it goes, of course, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Manya, would you like to share something about your journey with us?
Yeah, sure. So mine was a very basic thing that after 12th I had no clue what to do. So and I had a thing that I do not like books. I just hate books. I am not fond of books. But somehow I had a thing that fashion designing do not require books, and then I landed to a craft designing college, which is the only institute that deals in craft in Asia. So there I realized, seeing at the library of ISCD, I realized no, books is something that goes on with you for life. And it in the designing also, it plays a very major role. Like all the knowledge, all your history, all your science, there are things that are not taught in the classroom, but libraries, books teach you a lot. So that is how my ISCD thing was. It was a great experience, learning different materials, learning about different trainings and artisans clusters. And as Shivs rightly said, we started our own venture, and here we are.
Okay, okay, that's amazing. That's amazing, and we heartily congratulate you on establishing yourself as entrepreneurs and working so hard towards your objectives, right? Taking
Yeah.
in account the learning that you have had over a period of time, right? So, Manya, I would again extend a question to you about like what exactly is the relevance of craft according to you in this fast moving world, okay, in this rapidly modernizing world? And do you think crafts play a role, can play a role in addressing the contemporary world problems?
So I think craft has always been really relevant, whether it was early days or whether it is today as well. And keeping this in mind, we also at Studio Tratak try to blend a lot of traditional contemporary crafts in our designs. So, and obviously, I have learned this thing with Shiv as well. So, yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So, Shiv, since Manya has already talked about Trataka, which in itself is a very interesting word. So, would you like to elaborate more on what is Trataka and what is the vision of Trataka?
So basically, the word Tratak, it's a form of meditation,
Mhm.
and we think that design and meditation, they both go hand in hand. They both are any art or a meditation or music or cinematography, photography. It's like a meditation when you are creating something new. When you are thinking of something new, you all your senses, all your concentration, you have to combine them and scale them to one. And after that, what comes out is your design, or maybe it's your creation, or maybe it's an art piece. Same
Right.
way meditation works. The Tratak meditation is a kind of meditation where you focus on a source of light, and you try to concentrate on that, and you use all your energies towards it. And with that, I think Manya will explain the vision better.
Yeah, so as Shiv rightly said, that Tratak is a form of meditation. So, and that is something which me and Shiv totally connect to. So, what we believe that while designing a product, we require all our energies, all our focus, all our senses towards one single point, and that is how a design or a product or a creation comes out. And that's the story of entire Studio Tratak. That is how we came with this term. Keeping that in mind, as you rightly said, Nivedita, that at Tratak we try to blend traditional and contemporary crafts. So that is our aim, to decorate homes for tomorrow, and keeping a little bit of pinch of yesterday in it. And we, with our young perspectives, we try to aim and redefine and refine those things in our designs as well. Not only this, the support system of our entire Studio Tratak is our artisans, our clusters, and that is how we have built this entire Studio Tratak. So therefore, we try to always support them, no matter in their livelihoods or in the professional field. So that has been always a part of our vision and our family as well.
Okay, okay. It's good to hear that artisans enjoy such important position, in your
Yeah.
vision, which is something very great and which is something actually needed as well, you
Right.
know, uh, in contemporary time.
Yeah.
So, since you're already talking about crafts here, so we would love to know your understanding of crafts, of Indian crafts in specific, and you must have worked with a lot of crafts as you've already mentioned. So it would be nice if you could just tell us what all crafts you have worked with. Uh, just something about that to our audiences.
So there are obviously a lot of crafts we have worked with. We can, name a few for reference. We have worked in metal crafts, the Tatera, the Nakashi. We have worked with wood also. We have worked in Andhra Pradesh, the Budithi craft, Etiko Paka craft, Sabai grass, natural fibers. Yeah. So there
Sticky
are,
grass, bamboo, and there are endless.
yeah.
The list goes on.
Okay.
So there is one thing which is common in all the crafts, which is the person behind it. The story is same. Everyone has been working, has devoted their whole life to it. Their family, their forefathers has been working in that craft. And after working with the craftsman, we realize that it's so easy to give up something which is not giving you the desired result. Sometimes crafts don't make money to them. Sometimes you know not all craftsmen are rich. They are forced into the lower middle class category or maybe poor sometimes, depending on their geographical location. So it's so easy to give up on that and start something new, start another job. But we understood that why they are still not giving that up is because they love their work, they love the craft, they love the legacy, they are they are devoted to it. Their uh,
Right.
sheer understanding of the craft, their skill. Obviously, if people start giving up the craft will go extinct. And we are trying our best to keep that alive and give them as much as work we can so that it keeps them motivated. And after us also, people, maybe the new generation of designers, get to work with those crafts first.
So I'll just add to it if Nivedita, if you're okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
perfectly fine.
I'll just share a story here. I was in Calcutta at a very small village by the name of Midnapur. And the village was awesomely beautiful. I just love that place. I can still remember it. It's in my like deep memories. I still remember the place. And I was working with their two artisans. They were like I stayed there for around 20 days at their home, full 20 days at their home, and they treated me like great. Matlab, it was an awesome experience for them. And that was their only house. That was a pakka house, and rest everyone was a kacha house. There was a lot of ponds around it. It was a beautiful scenery. It was a beautiful place, and they were bamboo and sabai grass artisans. They were pretty like I think they were pretty good. They were earning had a good livelihood for themselves. So just one fine day, I just asked them like, why are you doing this? You have a good house, you have so many ponds, you even have a field. Why you? There is no need to do this. So they just give me a very simple answer. The answer was like, we just love to do this. At that time, I was like, okay, I didn't realize because those were like initial days of my career. And today, when I am doing such a thing, I am an entrepreneur. I realize that that simple answer is that survival of that craft. Today, that craft is just because of them. Because there are very few people who are working on sabai grass or bamboo. So that was amazing experience for me.
That's actually very well put, put Manya, because like you just told us, right, that the artisan replied to you that he loves doing what he's doing. That's why he's not leaving that craft. Yes, it's so true. It's actually a part of their identity, I think, right? It's a very intrinsic part of their identity. So that's why crafts are so passionate. Each and every single craft is so unique and so, passionate in its very origin, right? Shiv, do you have a story, any story to share with us about your
I I
experiences?
had a very different experience. I think all people who are studying in ISCD, they understand the term NGO training, and it comes very early in the starting of the course.
Hmm.
So I
Bilkul.
was doing my NGO training. In that format, I had to go to Andhra and had to travel to few villages. There were many villages. I went there, worked there. The specific one is Etikopaka. So the thing is, the village is very remote and there is no hotel around it. There is no facility to live there. So my hotel was 50 kilometers far from the village. So every day I had to take lift from a truck basically on the highway to reach there. And by the evening, I used to go back. I stayed there about 20 days, for about 20 days. And on 12th day they started accepting me. I tried everything to merge with them, to blend with them, to make them feel that I am as human as you are. I am as so you don't have to fear with me. You can open up with me. So शुरू में काम करते थे. It was more of a professional relationship because I'm paying them and they're working on it. After 12 days, they started to understand that this person is going to stay here. And after 12th day they offered me to stay at their house because they realized that I have to travel about 100 kilometers every day to reach there, back and forth. So on 13th day, when I got all my bags and there, they understood what I eat. Her mother started cooking for us. So basically, what I understood it, once I built a confidence, built one heart of them that I am same as you are. Once they understood that, they started working day and night. They started giving their best. The quality wise, the design wise, the work wise, they are national awardee people. They are not well to do. When you think about economic state, they are still trying their best. And on my 20th day, I just thank them for their hospitality. They love what they shared with us, the food, the water, the cooking, amazing cooking. And after 20 days, I initially went there with 20 design, but after I started staying with them, I came back with 80 designs. So they
Wow.
started 24 hours they were working for me, and I still have their contacts. We talk sometimes, we are in touch. Whenever I have something, I give them work. So when I left there, I told them, see, there are 80 designs which we have just created in last 20 days. Feel free to use them. Feel free to use these design to sell to your customers. Everyone has a small shop in their home. So I put one product of each design in their shop, and I said, you are free to produce them. You're free to use them, because this was the module that we need to go to the artisan and give them new design, so that their customers get something new and the craft still goes on. So this was my experience. It was a wonderful experience and a small learning experience as well.
Also,
Amazing.
this thing I think continues still today, because the as Shiv said, the moment you get personally attached to your artisan, they work for you like anything. Like, if I talk about our craftsmen, no matter if we have a deadline, they will not think about it that it's day or night. They will finish your work no matter what, as long it's not an emergency at their end. They will definitely try to do their job at the best. So that personal element with any artisan or craft person is really necessary.
Yes, absolutely. You have to become a part of the
Yeah.
ecosystem.
Yes.
You have to become a part of their ecosystem. Something that from the very, from the very first year of education, we try and, uh, we try to build this empathy towards the
Right.
complete entire ecosystem of a craft and the craft person, in our students. So yes, you have to be one of them to be able to understand it well, to be able to perceive it in its, inclusivity.
Right.
Amazing, amazing. And because we're talking about the ecosystem of crafts here, and you have already had a lot of experiences, working with craftsperson in their respective, affairs in their specific ecosystems. So, what are your learnings from there? being a part of that ecosystem per se, and working with that, and any specific craft that you would want to talk about in which you actually learned more because you were in that particular uh, you know situation, in that particular ecosystem, I would say.
I don't think so that we try to like they are a part of ecosystem. We like go into their ecosystem to become their part, because the moment we enter their scenario, their comfort level, things become so simple, so easy. And actually, this has been taught in IICD. Like this is in our like blood sort of a thing. Like from very first year we have been treated that way, like till now if I am working with one of my artisan, I, no matter what, I come down to their own level. We might have the same feeling at that time. Also, when there is any festival, when like for if I talk about my Muslim artisans, if there is any festival, we definitely try to go at their end, give them wishes, and it's for vice versa.
Okay, okay. Amazing, amazing. And which brings me to my next question, or rather a request, because we have seen the kind of work that you are doing, from Studio Chatak, and it's beautiful. It's some amazing work that you are actually doing. So, would you like to share with us any specific product, share with us the story of any specific product, or, share with us the kind of products that you're doing, the kind of work that you're doing.
So basically, the work which we cover is we do interior design, we do furniture design, and there is a range of home decor products as well. The Studio Tratak is mainly known for the hand home decor range. So there are a few stories about products. I mean, if I can show a product, just give me. So is this photograph visible to everyone?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's visible. Yes.
So this is a product, we named it Lotus Leaf Incense Stick Holder. So this is a very simple product. It's made of brass, but there are two types of finishes there. There is the top leaf is matte finished and the bottom leaf is patina finish. Patina finish is basically the patination of brass, is basically the rusting of the metal. So when a metal oxidizes, it changes its color. For say iron becomes red, and with brass we can use multiple chemicals to give them different shades of colors. So this product, when we started making this product, we had a very specific uh, basic design in our mind, that we are going to get inspiration from the lotus leaves and combine two different levels, combine two different plus and minus two different shapes together to create one. So what happens is कि हमने जो बेस का डिज़ाइन था हमने दूसरे आर्टिजन को बनाने के लिए दिया, जो टॉप लीफ का डिज़ाइन था हमने दूसरे आर्टिजन को बनाने के लिए दिया. जब प्रोटोटाइप्स हमको हमारे सामने आए तो देयर वाज दोनों ने ही कुछ कुछ गलती की हुई थी. द बेस वाज बिगर देन वी एक्सपेक्टेड, द टॉप लीफ वाज स्मॉलर देन वी एक्सपेक्टेड. So we tried to explain them again. This is the dimension, this is the drawing, please try again. Redo it. Second time when we receive it, the base is too small and the top leaf is too big. We said it's okay. We are going to give another try. We are not losing hope here because we think that product might be interesting. So we give it another try. On the third try, the base is exactly what we wanted. The top leaf was 2 times smaller than we expected when our design. It was 2 times smaller than the original design. But Manya thinks differently than me. Manya thinks that if we have something in our hand, why waste it? We have so many prototypes of the same product. Why not try and mix them or use them in another way? ठीक है, वो design जो हम चाह रहे थे नहीं बन रहा है. There might be some complication, might be technical issue, or might be understanding on different level नहीं बन पा रहा, तो कोई बात नहीं. Let's try and fuse them together, maybe we make something new. So Manya started fiddling around, playing with all 10, 15 shapes, and she came up with a base and a top leaf, and she started just putting them together. And something nice, just caught our eyes that yeah, it looks good. It it looks aesthetically sound. Plus, obviously, the purpose, it solves the purpose what we wanted to do. Now this is one of our best selling products. We are so
Yeah.
proud of this product. And what we learned from this experience is that sometimes yes, what you are planning is not going right. Sometimes आपके आर्टिजन को आप उतना अच्छे से नहीं समझा पाओगे. हो सकता है sometimes आर्टिजन उतना अच्छे से समझ नहीं भी पा रहा है. हर किसी की स्किल होती है, but at the same time they are working since they were kids, so they might have certain level of understanding. उन्होंने जो कुछ भी बनाया अपनी लर्निंग से ही बनाया होगा. हम जो उनसे बनवाना चाह रहे हैं वो नहीं बन पा रहा है, बट उन्होंने अपने अंडरस्टैंडिंग से बनाया. एंड when we had this product in our hand, the complete product, we were content. We just thought this product was meant to be. No matter what, there will be mistakes sometimes, but this mistake was actually not a mistake. So
Yeah.
the students here who are studying right now, who are going, who are someday going to get to the field and start making your own products, please remember, it's not like uh, you have loaded a drawing to a machine, CNC machine, and it will give you 1.1% precision every time. Crafts do not work like that. Crafts, people are behind it, so every time every piece will be different, and yes, sometimes there will be changes, there will be mistakes. So why not use them as is, keep the identity of the craftsman alive in
Yeah.
that product, or maybe you find something nice. Maybe आपने वो सोचा ही नहीं था कि आप वो डिजाइन करेंगे, हमने नहीं सोचा था वो डिजाइन ऐसा बनेगा. हमने जो ओरिजिनली सोचा था और जो बना भी, compared them and we knew कि ये जो भी बना ये better है हमारे ओरिजिनल डिजाइन से. So trust your artisans as well.
And I think that is the beauty of craft. So
Yeah.
it's not necessary what you plan will come out. So that is the job of designer, to be instant, to be prompt in your design language. So because craft is there, you have to make it that way. So that's where the role of a job of a designer comes into. And here we are with our best selling product. So things do not go bad. Things turn good.
That's amazing. It's an amazing story and a brilliant lesson as well here. And yes, absolutely. And there is also a learning here about, how you can actually s- save something from going into waste.
Right.
Even if something goes wrong, there is a very unique touch to every handcrafted article, right? It won't be same.
Yeah.
Even if the same artisan produces it, maybe makes it twice or thrice, or any number of times, there will be some differences, and that's the uniqueness of craft. और हर
Yeah.
हाथ का उसमें अपना ही स्वाद आता है क्राफ्ट में. So that is something
Exactly.
really, really nice. Yes, 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 absolutely. Is there any other product, anything else that you would like to share with us? Anything?
So there is one more product. I thought let's share it with you.
Mm-hmm.
This is a corner piece. We we were doing an exhibition and there was a corner space, and we thought we have to design something for it. But at the time, I was working with an artisan who is skilled in stonework. So I asked that artisan to, these are the dimension. मुझे 3 pieces चाहिए, इस height के चाहिए. आपको जो बनाना है बनाओ. I trusted him because I know कि इतना time काम करने के बाद there must be some aesthetic sense he must have developed. Every artisan has it. So I just gave him freedom कि आपको जो बनाना है बनाइए. And he gave me 3 different shapes. They are, they are not very symmetrical. They are maybe if a critical designer looks at it, might say कि ये इसमें ये वाला piece नहीं होना चाहिए था, or maybe this element is too much or something is missing. But we found it complete. We found it as is, as good as possible. After that, we took it to a gold leafing artisan. The gold leafing is the process, is you find it on sweets. That's the leaf. So gold leafing is a craft which you can apply on any surface. So we went to the gold leafing artisan and we said, we have these three shapes and we don't want a complete or a sense of completion in it. We just want something raw. And we just gave it to him and we said, "Aapko jo karna hai kijiye." This artisan came up with this. If you see the leafing, it's not complete, it's broken, it's kind of antique or raw. There is some kind of rawness to it. After this, when we had this product, people started noticing the product, and we just knew that we are going in the right direction. So in this product, we just gave the freedom to artisans कि आपको जो बनाना है बनाइए, and we trust you. And actually they came up with something nice. Maybe we could not have designed that. So sometimes it's okay to give your artisan freedom. Sometimes when you are making something, it's okay to give your artisan a free hand to do it your own way. They will actually enhance your product. They might give another level of aesthetics to that simple product or a chair or whatever it is.
Yeah. Also in this design, one, if you see the stone pieces, they look so finished, polished, fine, very fine. Whereas the gold leafing is entirely raw. So a combination of two elements can be so beautiful, is also an art. And that is where your studies, your experience comes into.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट स्पेसिफिकली आई वुड से कि ये बहुत ही सुंदर मिश्रण लग रहा है, बहुत एक बहुत बेहतरीन क्राफ्ट स्किल का, और साथ में जो आपका आइडिया है, जो आपका कुछ नया सा इंटरवेंशन जो आप लाने की कोशिश करते हो, उन दोनों के बीच का बैलेंस लगता है ये देखने में, एंड विच आइडली एक्चुअली इज आई फील the task of a designer. Because we cannot be so pompous in our thought, that we only have all the sense of aesthetics, because artisans have a very,
Yeah.
very strong sense of aesthetics. There is a lot of wisdom, a lot of technology and everything involved, and a wonderful sense of aesthetics. How beautifully they bring such bright colors together, or at times so many different elements together with such simplicity. That's why they have kind of sustained over a long, long period of time, almost like classics.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
absolutely. Bilkul, bilkul. So, which brings me to my next question. तो हमने इतनी सारी बात करी अभी क्राफ्ट के बारे में कि क्राफ्ट कैसे यूनिक होते हैं, हर हाथ का अलग स्वाद होता है उसमें. तो what according to you is how according to you actually, crafts better than, or are they better than their industrial counterparts in your view?
We don't feel anything is better than anything. Crafts has its own place, industries have their own place. There is demand and there is supply, so both have to coexist. Crafts, however, crafts are evolving. They started to accept the industries, they started to use power tools to, generate the products faster. Plus, there is one thing better which I feel with craft is there is no industrial waste. You can
Yeah.
reuse the raw material, you can reuse the waste. और से अगर आप क्ले में कुछ बनाते हैं, यू कैन वापस से क्ले को गीला कर दीजिए, यू मेक इट अ डो अगेन, यू मेक समथिंग न्यू every time. So it's reusable, which I feel craft is. It's more of eco-friendly thing. Yes, if we talk about metal, या wood पेड़ काटने से ही आती है. It's not eco-friendly to cut trees, but the craftsmen, what they do is they try to optimize the material they have. And as a designer, it's our duty to use as less material as possible for a single product. एक ही प्रोडक्ट में आप बहुत सारा मटेरियल मत यूज कीजिए. ट्राई टू मेक एज लेस वेस्ट एज पॉसिबल. आप देखिए, अगर आप उस पीस में ये वाला शेप कट करते तो उसमें वेस्टेज कितना हो रहा है. ट्राई नॉट टू डू दैट. Try not to create a lot of waste. Try to use the material optimal. Use your brains, use your skills, use your design aesthetics to make it, more sustainable for our ecosystem.
Yes, and sustainability is one of the most important things that we are looking at. At least this decade, at least this particular decade has seen, the value, the importance of sustainability. The realization of this particular value. across across different cultures and people and countries. So I think yes, crafts can play a very important, very major role in bringing about sustainability. In
And I
production.
think that is the main factor why crafts product and industrial products are two different at different level also, because here we are trying to be more sustainable, more justified to our creations, more justified to the artisan, whereas in industrial I don't think so that happens. There is no nothing is bad, nothing is good, but that is, I think, what we believe in.
As a designer, we have a choice that if we are making something, if we are going to manufacture something, we have a choice to whether go for an industrial process or go for an art based product, handcrafted process. And as a designer, I try to choose crafts as more often as possible.
Amazing, amazing. That's really good. That's really good. So, that which again brings me to my next question. Like the very topic of our conversation here, the very topic of our discussion here. What, according to you, is the role of designer in the Indian craft sector, Manya?
I think in Indian, like in our craft sector, the main role of a designer is to generate the livelihood for those clusters or artisan people. Because, like, if you see during this lockdown, there have been so much going on to support our artisans, and because there was nothing, there was no production going on, that and that was the one main thing due to which they used to sustain. So that is where we come to generate new ideas, new designs every now and then, so that things keep on running. Also, I believe that one has to be very communicative with their artisans. Communication plays a very important role in this. So I think, yeah.
So you might have heard the term dying crafts. So the role of a designer is to not let that happen. To keep the craft as is. Don't try to change it. Don't try to, mend it. Just keep it as is. If you happen to save any one of the craft in your career, I think that will be a very good job you must have done.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, it's about bringing a balance, between preserving the essence of a craft and bringing innovation at the same time. I think it's a balancing act
Yeah.
here, right? And when we're talking about craft sector and the interaction of the world of design with the world of craft. So, what according to you are the gaps that you have experienced or that you feel are there, that can be filled, that need actually a lot of efforts, to bridge, basically.
So I think that obviously we have our craft sector at one end, but at the same time we have a marketplace, right? So we as designers have has to keep at pace with the market. Things has to be keep on going. There has to be quality. There has to be timely delivery. So that is one place where we at times get a little here and there. So I think that that can be something we can definitely deal, and we have been dealing it. We have been taking cautions of all those factors also.
Okay, okay. And Shiva, would you want to add something to that?
I think these are the main issues. These are the main gaps which needs to be filled. On-time delivery is one of it. So we try our best to educate our artisan or to try to make them more aware कि market है, ये time है. We are so used to the word deadlines, but artisan don't know the word deadline. So we have to we are still trying our best to find a way, trying to find a middle ground where we can work better. We don't want to just open up a big factory and make them work day and night. We don't want to do
Yeah.
that. That will not be moral for us. We are trying to use as many crafts as possible. Being an entrepreneur, we are free to use any craft right now because we are not bound to any single craft. And by this, the only challenge comes is the on time delivery. which I need. We are trying our best, and the new breed of designers will also try their best, and maybe with their new generation of artisans and our collaboration with them, they might will come along with us in this sense.
Also, I think that patience is one thing that you learn a lot in ISCD. While dealing with artisans, you get used to that thing, and that is good. That is what have been taught there. It's good in your career. So that one factor plays a great role in your entire design journey.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Shiv also quoted it very rightly, because ultimately, when you talk about the real life, real world dynamics, marketing and market is one of the very important factors to sustain the livelihoods of our craft people, to sustain them in a respectful and better manner. So definitely, there a lot of intervention, I feel, yes, is needed, where we can bring them the knowledge, or bring them the awareness of the current market dynamics. So yes, absolutely, very very yes, that is the gap that we do face here, and also about the timely production of things. Thank you so much, Manya and Shiv. And now we are opening our session for audience questions here. So we have Arundhati Jaiswal, who wants to ask you, what exactly is the role, what role can a strategic designer play to bring crafts to urban households? She's asking.
So basically, first thing, if you talk about domestic market or if you talk about international market, the crafts are already in the urban households. So we just need to create more awareness. We just need to market our crafts in a way that people find it more special. They find it the sense of ownership of owning one handcrafted product. This is our job, and this is a way we can enhance or maybe multiply the usage of crafts in urban households. You need
Right.
to present it better than us, better than everyone else, and try to add one more level to it every time you do.
Okay. Brilliant, brilliant. And we have a lot of more questions, coming from audiences here. So, Janani Tyagarajan is asking, is there any forecast that you follow for creating your products at Studio Pratica?
Actually, being a creative person, I don't think the fashion or forecast or anything matters. It's your art, it's your choice. Whatever you are making has it has nothing to do with the current market. आप कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं बोलेंगे आजकल market में ये चीज चल रही है. There is nothing of that sort before a creative person. So whatever you are creating is your own market. You have your own customer.
Yeah.
When you do a design project, you learn to define the brief, you learn to define the client, you learn to define how much they earn, all those factors which you learned in a design project when you studied that in ICT. Use that every time, or don't bother about the forecast, don't bother about the color which is in, maybe this is something people are buying more. Don't bother, just do your work, create your own designs, and they will you will find your own customer someday, and then you will never believe in such short things. So don't bother, I would
Absolutely,
say.
absolutely. Absolutely. Uh, the next question is from Adrija. Adrija wants to ask, can you brief something on marketing of the products? Do you have some inputs, to share here on marketing of products?
So I think in the current scenario, marketing has been really easy. We have so many social media platforms where and which is easily approachable to anyone. You just create your page, you start marketing, and these are like way easier. Earlier, all those things were not so accessible. So I think social media platforms these days are like booming like anything. And during these lockdown period, we have learned so much online these days. So I think that is one way of marketing your products very well. And instead of paid promotions or all those things, I think one should definitely go for this way, because this is something which is easily accessible.
Please pitch
Absolutely.
for
And
mouth to
yeah,
mouth publicity. Try to
Yeah.
build good relationship with your customers or your clients so that they, pass on the word. And as far as marketing goes, we never did a paid promotion. We only do exhibitions. We do marketing through social media. Once we felt that if you are doing good work, there will be magazines, there will be people, there will be blog, they will feature you. Your marketing will happen eventually. So you don't have to marketing में इतना ज़्यादा you don't have to invest money in the starting. Maybe if you reach a level, you need to pay a lot of money to the magazines and all, you can do that. But initially, your work is your marketing. So
Yeah.
try to build good relationship with the uh, clients of yours and pitch for word to word marketing. That will help you.
absolutely. And the internet revolution, the World Wide Web, the advent
Yes.
of World Wide Web has already, established such amazing connectivity, has made connections such, have made connections very easy. So yes, I think there are multiple modes right now to work on marketing of the product. Shiv, the next question is from Maitri here. She's asking, do you have any internships for the first years?
Yeah, someone who's interested in internship can definitely apply. We'll go through the work, and if we find that it aligns with our work, we will definitely hire you.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. So, Maitri, there is your answer. Tanya is asking, how do we as freshers start a design studio with the craftsmen? What is the first step that you need to take?
Tanya, I would say first, don't think about starting a design studio when you are fresher. Try to invest your time in learning skills, maybe do a job or maybe work with another designer, maybe work with other people. Try to build skills, learn them, master them. Once you are ready, you will know, and all the questions will be answered. They all are in your head. You just don't know how to access it right now. You That folder will open, so you just you just focus on learning right now.
Also,
When you ready,
you should always do jobs first before starting your own studio, because there you learn a lot. You know how to work under someone, and then when you get your own thing, you can manage a lot of things. So you should always do jobs first and then start your own venture.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have a lot of more questions coming here. Janani again is asking here, can you give input on pricing of the products? Any inputs?
It depends on how strong your marketing is. For say, if a product, the cost price of the product is 500 rupees, then you know that how much markup you want. You want 100 rupees on it, maybe 200 rupees on it, depending on what platform that product is. The simple thing is, if you are selling online or if you are selling to stores, try to keep the MRP same, and everyone charges some amount of commission, so you have to add that commission as well. And please make sure your markup is relevant compared to the market, because maybe same kind of product is selling for some price, so you have to keep your prices competitive in the current scenario.
All right. All right. And there is another question from Harini. She's asking, how did you realize that this is what you want to do? So,
It's a good question.
would you like to share that with us? Yes.
I
See,
just knew when I was ready, the folder just popped open in my head. I knew what are the steps we are going to take.
Hmm.
See, it all comes in your in your in, as Shiv said, it comes to you on its own. You do not have to do things for it. It comes to you, and you get to know, like, this is the right time, this is the right place. And moreover, I should tell this to you, that when we started, it was Notebandi ka time. So it is not like has to be today, it has to be tomorrow. When we started, the market was totally down, but it all comes to you.
There's one advice. I think don't, have plan B, which I have learned through these years. Once you have a plan B, what plan B does, it gives you security that if plan A doesn't work, you have the plan B. But when you are going to become an entrepreneur, maybe you are thinking of opening your own company. If you have a plan B, कि अगर ये नहीं चला तो I'll go do a job, so it won't work. If someone throws you in the water, the only option you have to swim. So when you are going towards entrepreneurship, don't have plan B's. Plan A, it has to work. Put your name on it. You will never let your name down, so it will motivate you. And just have plan A and plan A, no plan B.
Very, very well put, Shiv. Very well put. And we have another question here from Professor Meenakshi Singh. She's asking, what are the problems you face in setting up yourselves as a design studio?
Can you come again with the question?
It says, what are the problems you face in setting up yourselves as a design studio?
So, as I told you, that we started at the time when the market was really down. But throughout our journey at IICD, we have been building contacts. We have been good terms with industry wherever we did our internships, wherever we did our trainings. We have been in good terms. So that is one thing had played a major role for both of us. So that is where we started building a contacts from. And I'll also mention it here. The very first time when we started our company was with Ritu Khandelwal. She organized an exhibition by the name of Nine Dot Squares, and there where we launched our brand. So those people have been always a support system for us. So yes, there have been ups and downs. There have been pros and cons for everything, but maybe with good terms with people, maybe with good relations, and whatever have been taught to us and teachings have been a great support to both of us.
Stay professional wherever you go. You go to an NGO, you go for an internship, you work in any company. Try to create good professional relationship with everyone. They all work for you. They all will help you in your career. my when I did my internship, I made sure that I will have great relationship with all of the people around there. After my internship, but I got my first job offer from one of the CEO who was working in that company where I did my internship. So I knew that my good terms has worked. After that job, when I left the job and I started entrepreneurship, that person or the more people who I have maintained good professional relationship with, they helped us. They gave us clients, they gave us contacts. We sent them our products as a thank you that this is a Diwali gift from us. So there are many ways to do that. So keep and maintain professionalism and try to build good relationship with everyone. Maybe you think this person will not, मतलब ये इंसान काम नहीं आएगा. If you think that no, it won't happen. Try to think yes, ये कहीं ना कहीं will help me, or maybe I can help that person someday. So just be, be more relevant to yourself.
Absolutely, very, very, very useful insights, actually, I would say, for all our students who are a part of the session right now, who are listening to you right now. We have a lot of questions coming up, but because we have a time constraint and we are approaching almost towards the end of the session, I will just quickly take up one or two more questions, okay? And I'm really sorry that we cannot take up all your questions. So the next question is from Amisha Kumari. She's asking how you deal with competitors, and does competition affect your craft?
No, it does not affect us, and we don't think anyone is a competition because we are doing our own work. As I said, don't bother, just do your work. So, our competition, what is in fashion, focus, don't bother in all those things. Just focus and work what you are doing. Just do it with your heart.
Thank you for the advice again. And the last question that we would very quickly take up, Shiv and Manya, is from Apurva Dadheej. Apurva Dadheej. They're asking, where do you see crafts and products industry after this COVID-19 situation? Will it affect the industry, the crafts industry? Like if you want to explore something new somewhere, but it's maybe not easy to go, the communication and everything. So what are the factors do you think that are going to affect the craft industry post this COVID-19 situation?
So not only craft industry, all kinds of industries are going to get hit at the moment, and we are just being hopeful that we will recover soon. As all the industry, all the market recovers, craft will also be recovering with us. We are still going to get the production done. We are still going to make new designs. We are trying to keep supporting them, and it market affects everything. So it's not only crafts.
Also, with the entire like our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has been into a lot of Make in India and using Indian products. So, as of me, if I'll talk about myself, most of the products, most of the if a soap disc is also there, it's Indian. Is it of is it maybe a stone, something of that material? So you yourself has to be that particular. So it all starts at your end. So be that ways, and I think craft industry only, not only craft industry, I think entire country can cope up with this situation.
We can just quickly take one more question, Nivedita, if it is possible. We'll keep it short.
Yes, yes, yes. The next one that we can take up here is again about the pricing of a product. Purva here is asking, how does one decide a price for a product? Is the craftsman also involved in this process?
So pricing is simple. You just have to keep your markup competitive. Uh, there's a cost price, there's a commission price, there's packaging cost, there's transportation cost. Just add them all, and then you will know how much markup is allowed for you to have. So once, for say, if you have a product, the total cost is coming for like 2000, and the similar product is selling at 3500, you might have 1000 as a markup for yourself. So you will understand, just add all the costs and add your markup. Keep your markup more genuine. Just don't blow it up, because if people find it very expensive, it will be difficult to sell in the current scenario.
And while you are manufacturing products from artisans, the artisan itself give you a, standard
Yeah,
markup or a number on which the entire product is made. So automatically you get to know that what pricing or what particular price you have to do it. The prices have to be competitive. There is
keep
where
it.
all the competition comes. Nothing else. With the designs and nothing where the competition arises. Only in pricing the competition has to be there, because you
Keep
have
it
to be at
reasonable.
pace. Yeah, you have to be at pace with the market.
All right, absolutely. I think that is it with the questions. Thank you so much, audiences here as well, and we are very sorry if we could not address somebody's questions here. So with that, we are approaching towards the end of our session, and I think it has been a very wonderful session. Thank you so much, Shiv and Manya, for sharing with us your experience and your insights. It is very valuable for it is. I'm very hopeful that very valuable for all our students and all the other participants. We all have learned something from here, from this discussion. And our audiences too have been very engaging and very wonderful. So thank you to all the audiences as well. And I'll just take one more minute from your time, and I'll take this opportunity to inform all of you about the uh, summer workshops that IICD will be conducting this month on a variety of topics ranging from cover to design drawing to Matani Pichedi, portrait painting, a lot of other topics and very interesting ones with expertise of academicians as well as the craftsperson. amalgamating, to bring you a very meaningful and knowledgeable experience. So if you want to know more about that, I would request you to kindly refer to IICD website. And again, Shiv and Manya, I'm very, very thankful to you for being here and sharing, your experiences with us.
Thank you so much, Nivedita, and I thank the entire IICD opportunity to have such a session for us. And I think Meenakshi ma'am also said something. So I'll just say thank you to her for addressing us, and director ma'am especially.
Yes,
And
yes.
Studio Tratak is always open for IICD and IICD students. We welcome them all.
And we are always open for you guys, always there to support you guys through anything that's possible. All right, and it's always lovely to have you, back for anything, either it be a discussion or any collaboration, anything. Right. So thank you so much once again. And to my audience, I would say thanks again, and I am hoping that we would see them in the third session in this series of Vartas with alumni, IICD alumni. The topic of our next session is art and design, a symbiotic relationship in modern world. So we are hoping to see you guys there again, and I hope this session was meaningful for you. With that,
Thank
I will take your leave, and thank you so much again.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank